Hi, this is Brian Pasch, and I want to have a quick follow-up to all the automotive professionals that have downloaded the Stellantis eShop research report. And thank you so much for doing that. Hundreds and hundreds of people in the automotive industry have downloaded or requested the report, and I've been getting a lot of positive feedback. And again, the purpose of the research report was to start a conversation to give dealers, well, a more complete picture of their choices for digital retailing and to make sure that they make an informed decision. At the beginning, I was receiving calls from dealers who felt that they were pressured or being pressured into canceling their existing digital retailing platform and choosing eShop. After I started covering the story, publishing videos, and eventually the research report, I'm being told now that the framework or communications that are going out to Stellantis dealers is they have a choice or an option. It is not required for them to choose eShop, which I think is progress, because as each dealer needs to find the right tools to match the retail experience they want to offer their customers, it also gives the team at eShop more time to address some of the deficiencies we reported in the research report. I'm also glad to see that the team at Stellantis have been reading, following, and, well, making note of some of the critical comments that I've made about their platform. And again, I don't sell digital retailing platform. I'm just looking out for the dealers in the Stellantis network, but the conversation is much broader than just Stellantis because more than one OEM is really moving towards a single required or highly recommended digital retailing solution for their franchise dealers. Now, what I did receive was a Q&A, kind of an FAQ response to some of the claims that I've made either in LinkedIn or in the research report. And I thought that I would review these rebuttals that were sent out to dealers who, well, have been reading and are looking for some clarifications. The first response, and the document says, in response to some misleading information regarding the Stellantis eShop tool, we'd like to provide you with a few facts and details. Now, their number one is eShop is a link out. This is not a good practice and takes the consumer away from my website. Their response is that they're working on what they call an in-widget version of eShop, and they should have that ready in early July, which would be a great improvement to taking a consumer off the website. While we agree, I'm reading here, that link outs are not best practice, this is a common and safe implementation used by many digital retailing providers, such as Roadster, Digital Motors, and many others. Let me explain the difference here about taking someone off the website. My concern with taking someone off the dealer's website was that the dealer loses granular conversion data based on the referral source and campaign that brought the consumer to the dealer's website. This is not what's happening at Roadster. When Roadster is implemented properly as a subdomain, not a separate website, the rules are very different because Google Analytics supports subdomains on a primary domain. So, when a consumer moves from the dealer's main site to the subdomain or the subdomain to the dealer's website, it appears as one session, one customer in Google Analytics. That means if somebody uses Facebook or Google to send traffic to their dealer website and they choose to use the digital retailing tools and go to the Roadster subdomain, all of that conversion data, tracking data is all kept in the dealer's Google Analytics account. When a consumer goes to a Stellantis dealer using eShop in its current configuration as a national portal, when they leave the dealer's website and go to the Stellantis website, if a lead is submitted, it will not be able to be associated with the marketing campaign. And this was the primary reason. So linking or comparing eShop in its current national format to Roadster is indeed misinformation, because Roadster has resolved the complete detailed analytics, and anybody who uses a subdomain structure can have full confidence that the shopping path is being recorded properly. And point number 2, I was told eShop offers a consistent experience for the customer, yet the platform has a different style guide than my dealer website. Okay, and their rebuttal to my comment that a dealer could have a blue and green website and they go to an orange website, it's not a consistent brand experience. They, instead of answering that specific complaint, they talk about some Google research that consumers use multiple websites to make a purchase decision. Of course, that is true, but when they get to a dealer's website and are narrowing into doing business with a dealer, taking them off that dealer's website into a site that they didn't elect to go to, of course, actually hurts conversion. And of course, the answer to number 2 is really just a diversion for the fact that it's really not a consistent experience. Now, they further say that when we meant consistent, we meant that the alignment was primarily on the data, not the colors. But as I told you, a dealer could have a digital retailing tool on their website that calculates penny perfect payments based on the complete trade-in value, F&I accessories, and listen, the best payment based on the best banks that are available for that consumer. So if the data is consistent, that would mean eShop would have to be able to do penny perfect payments, and we already know that in its current format, it doesn't calculate taxes and fees properly. It doesn't do a lot of other things that the digital retailing tools do. So I think the answer to number 2 is just avoiding the issue that consistent user experience to everyone else in the world other than Stellantis means it looks the same, feels the same, and generates the same final data, and that is not the case in the current version of eShop. Point number 3, eShop has implemented a CTA button on the dealer website that is black and does not stand out. Common sense and a better idea would be to use a bold color like red or green. Their response to this, which is very interesting, which basically defies industry research that you can find all over the place, they said that the black CTA button had a 241% lift in click-through rates and a 46% lift in lead submission rates against the control group. Now, I think we're confusing 2 different things. The lead submission rate is really about the tool, and how consumers interact. Whether people click a green button or a red button or a black button was the focus of my comment, based on research that's readily available on conversion optimization. And so, very interesting. I don't have any basis to prove or disprove their claim. I'm just making my comment that in conversion optimization or CTA, you would think that a black button would not be the color that stands out as this is the process or this is the button that you would want a consumer to click. Number 4, the eShop. I shared that the eShop site took too long to load, and then they're just saying that the average load time is under 3 seconds. It's possible that I had bandwidth issues or internet problems. What I found was that the first time I went through to eShop, remember it's routed through an FCA link, it was slow. And then when I went back, it was much faster. I haven't done more testing on this. The observation was to make sure that the experience for the dealer's website is better. And if that has been already fixed or that was an anomaly, that is fine with me as well. Number 5, eShop doesn't have a solution for CPO and used according to an online report. That's my report. And it said eShop launched a solution for CPO vehicles and used in January 2021. Some dealers have opted not to implement the CTA for CPO and used cars. Now, this is an interesting one because just yesterday I posted on LinkedIn and Facebook that I needed some examples of Stellantis dealers using eShop for used cars, and so far it's been crickets, meaning nothing was suggested to me. I find it interesting that Stellantis' response is different than what was shared in the webinars. The webinars said, we will be supporting used cars. We will be. This formal response is saying we've been supporting since January. The question is anybody using it? What does it look like? Why would a dealer put two different digital retailing experiences? Why would they choose not to do digital retailing for used cars? We already know that digital retailing is much easier for used cars than new cars because there's no rebates and incentive, and well, a used car transaction is so much simpler. So if you're a Stellantis dealer and watching this video, would you please email me a link to your website? I'd like to see how the Stellantis experience looks like for used cars. Are all the photos the same? Are all the descriptions the same? What does the used car experience look on your website versus the national site? And of course, I have no examples that were suggested to me of showing eShop working in a robust used car environment today. eShop offers one trade-in tool. I said it was Car and Driver, and that was what was provided to dealers in their webinars. And the response here is no, we also support KBB's Trade-in Advisor. Again, I'm going based off the information that was provided on the training webinars. And again, on LinkedIn, I asked anybody who's using eShop right now that has KBB as their trade-in tool, I'd like to see how it's implemented. Right now, no one has shown me or provided a single link of eShop working with KBB. Again, these are the information that I received, and I'm still waiting. eShop is not integrated into CRMs. eShop, and their response, eShop sends leads directly into the CRM. That's not what I said. I said they don't do direct API insertions into CRMs. Everyone sends leads to the CRM, but detailed conversations and complex digital retailing calculations have many, many unique data fields that can be plugged into the CRM through an API. The ADF XML format is often incomplete and inconsistent, and oftentimes digital retailing leads are sent as notes in the comments field. It's actually taken digital retailing vendors a long time to get the API into Dealer Socket, into eLeads, into VIN Solutions, into DriveCentric, and all my question was, does eShop support direct API integrations? Everything I researched said no. So obviously it's a matter of semantics here. Number 8, I said eShop does not offer any data to the dealership. According to them, we lose all visibility once the customer engages with eShop. Again, misquoting, I said they would lose marketing attribution when somebody leaves the website. We would lose, if that person converted, that conversion associated with a campaign. Their response is, we have extensive data and reporting on eShop, which is available to dealers through DDR and the dealer admin tool. Again, this is just shift the conversation. They're saying, yes, we have reporting tools. Of course you have reporting tools. This is how many leads you got, and maybe some other data. I'm saying is they're not addressing the fact that my statement wasn't that they wouldn't get reports or data. They would lose the marketing conversion data associated with that referral. According to this claim, eShop is poorly implemented on dealers' websites. You can find the CTA on the search results page, but what about the VDP? Why was that forgotten? And this was just a comment. It was not in the research report. It was just a comment that one of the dealers that was used as an example, listen, as an example in the marketing email to dealers saying, here are 4 dealers that are doing a great job with eShop, and it wasn't implemented properly. Obviously, they didn't like that I found that, but they're saying, no, we encourage dealers to implement it right, but sometimes dealers don't do what we ask them to do. eShop does not deliver cost savings because dealers still need a second digital retailing tool. That's exactly what I said. And it says eShop covers new used CPO vehicles and covers all aspects of the shopping and purchase process, from payment information to credit application to e-contracting. And again, on their own webinars, they said that calculating local taxes and fees and some of the other things that dealers need to get penny perfect payments for new and used cars was not available today. And again, I still haven't seen somebody who has fully embraced this tool for used cars. So it's just their word against my research or my observations. It will be interesting to see. It says, if I roll into eShop, I will get double billed according to my current provider. I did not say that about double billing. I just said that if you want a tool that can calculate penny perfect payments to give the consumer a realistic and very accurate sense of what that final contract would look like, eShop can't do that for new and used cars. They can't calculate those local taxes and fees. They can't show all the banks and lenders that the dealers want. And as a result, if you wanted a competent tool for used cars and new cars, you would need to keep both tools. That's what I said, because eShop, from our research, didn't stack up against more robust tools like a Roadster or a Car Now or a Gabagoo or a Cox Automotive. It's, well, if these tools that Stellantis is promoting can do all these things, I'm just looking for dealers who are doing the complete contracting on new and used cars with penny perfect payments based on the banks and lenders and F&I products that they want to use, meaning not what they're limited to, but what they really want to do. And if that's the case, I'll amend any research report once those facts are presented. Let's see. That's pretty much the rebuttals that the team at Stellantis sent out to their dealers. Obviously, this is an active conversation. Again, what is the purpose of the research report? What is the purpose of this discussion? To ask dealers a very simple question. In its current implementation state, should you be forced to, or should you be running to, sign up for a tool that may be providing less features than your existing, competent, proven digital retailing tool? That's what you have to decide. And yes, this conversation has escalated the feature request list that obviously now dealers are asking for, which is great for Stellantis and the eShop team, because instead of, presenting a story that the platform is ready for prime time without explaining the unintended consequences of taking people off a dealer's website, taking them to a different chat platform, losing marketing conversion, pushing data as an ADF XML file instead of API, the list goes on. Now I think dealers and the team at eShop at least have more of the facts on the table. I wish the team at eShop great success in creating a world-class digital retailing platform, but today it's more like a payment calculator with the promise that in the coming months things will get better, which is great. Every digital retailing tool has evolved. But as we talk about a robust retailing experience for dealers and dealer groups that need to present a consistent buying strategy for their dealer group across many brands, well, this is where the battle lines are being drawn. Will dealer groups have to support 10 different digital retailing tools on their portal websites or their regional websites because this is what the manufacturers mandate? Today, there are no mandates, but I think the writing's on the wall that this is where they would like to lead, with more new car national launches being done as a national portal, which of course makes dealers more like order takers. It will absolutely change Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 marketing. It's going to change the way in which we look at the consumer, who owns that consumer, who owns that lead. If all of the new car transactions are going through the national portal, who owns that? Who's the customer then? A lot of interesting conversations, and we're going to be talking about them in July at the Digital Marketing Strategies Conference. It's not just about digital retailing. It's about marketing and marketing efficiency. It's marketing visibility and privacy. We're going to be talking about sales process. How do we have a consistent online and in-store sales process? How do we measure? What are the KPIs for success? The most pressing topics for dealers right now are going to be addressed at the Digital Marketing Strategies Conference. You can pick 2 different experiences. Fly out to the Napa Valley, July 11th, 12th, and 13th, and experience the conference live. We have a few dealer tickets left. We have an amazing lineup of sponsors and speakers. Go to digitalmarketingstrategies.org. If you can't travel to Napa, then do the virtual experience. You can buy a ticket for the DMSC conference. All of the main stage keynotes and panel discussions and case studies will be live streamed, and all the workshops will be pre-recorded and be able to play at any time. And if you buy a ticket for Napa or the virtual experience, the great news is all of the content will be online for 30 days after the conference ends. It's an amazing value package. I want to thank the team at Stellantis and eShop for putting out these rebuttals. And I think the conversation continues. What I want to be clear about is that what dealers are losing is important for them to consider, and the features that they need to run retail operations need to be addressed in a more transparent way. Forcing dealers or encouraging dealers strongly to jump on board a boat with a number of holes in it is irresponsible. And, well, since the vendor community can't speak up and the dealer community is afraid to speak up, well, as a dealer advocate, I'm speaking up with the idea that both the dealers and the OEMs can work together to try to find a retail framework that supports a unified shopping experience by brand and also supports the dealer's ability to be local entrepreneurs, selecting the banks and sales processes that maximize the customer experience and their profits. Right now, it seems like the parties are way far apart, because what was once a dealer choice program seems to be a dealer push program. And Stellantis is not the only OEM to take that approach. And so at the Digital Marketing Strategies Conference, we're going to have a real, raw conversation about what the future of retail looks like and what do we need to do to work closer together. Thank you for watching this video. I wanted to detail my comments on this rebuttal report because I think it's helpful to continue the conversation on the future of automotive retailing.